The first question today is, what is a saint, and what do I do to become one?
What is a saint? A saint is represents God. It's usually a realized being. They are all only in spiritual reality. Maharaja is a saint, I think, at least. I think if you ask what you need to do to become a saint, that's not a good route through. That's usually pretty ego-y. Saints come either by birth or by incredibly hard yoga, all the forms of yoga. That's all on that one.
Okay, the next question is from Polly Armstrong. After foot surgery, heart surgery, and retirement to the coast of Maine almost 3 years ago, I found myself deeply slowed down, almost in a silent spiritual retreat, which has felt right to recover from my busy, active life in the city. However, my longing for a deeper spiritual life does not seem to be materializing. I spend long hours meditating in silence or writing, but I feel stuck, like something more is trying to open in me. Do you have any ideas or comments about how to trust that this process is exactly what is needed? Is this a matter of trusting my own soul unfolding, or should I be reaching out for help from those who are further down the path?
Well, you are reaching out. So anyway, and I think the quiet is a great part of the whole procedure, and that's pretty good for you. I think if you attend attention on your heart and just even you can use your breath to do it. Love in, love out. Love in, love out. And that will be cut through whatever your mind is presenting as your problem. That's most of your problem is still in your mind. I think if your heart would start projecting with your heart, and then that plus the silence works.
The next question is from Rishi. How do you walk through agoraphobia, through the body symptoms and the fear, and come out the other side with a higher level of consciousness? Moving into a new cycle of life, could you give us a mantra or prayer for the well-being of new beginnings?
To the well-being of what?
New beginnings.
What's agoraphobia? What? What?
All-encompassing fear. Isn't it when you can't go
Fear of outside, yeah. That is very much coming from your ego or from your head or coming from your who you think you are. And it could be counteracted by working with your heart, with your eye in the heart. And that would give you a chance from down there, from the a witnessing of the agoraphobia. And any mantra will be helpful to getting rid of agoraphobia. I don't have any agoraphobic mantras, and I think a mantra would be extremely, such as Ram, 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 things like that.
The next question is from Robert Stone. You and Krishnadas and many of your contemporaries talk about how you had read all the books possible on enlightenment and other subjects, but that books can only take you so far. Then you had your in-person, real-life experience with Neem Karoli Baba, Ananda Mayama, etc. My question, I'm sure, is probably one of the most common asked of you, but it remains a burning question for us, the second generation devotees, or 2G devotees, as I classify us. What do we do in the absence of an in-person guru or teacher? And since it's not about becoming Buddhist or Hindu, we don't even have a church to join. So what do we do in the absence of an in-person guru or teacher?
You'll find that the guru, and everybody has a guru. The guru is in the heart or the belly, is in your own body, and you can go to him or her within your own within your own soul. For you to do, you'll go from ego to soul. And once you're in, then you will find that your guru is directly working with you. And that might be, I don't have, everybody has a guru, whether they call it an angel or they call it a master, or they call it their in the voice within, the God within. And they does have a guru. You all have a guru. And I stopped looking for it out there. Even now, Maharaja is dropped his body, and all I have to do to find him in the heart. Yeah.
Next question is from Brian. For a great portion of our lives, we have been clinging to shame and lack of self-worth. What would you recommend as a practice to let go of this? So that's clinging to shame and lack of self-worth.
That's all strictly ego stuff, and you have two distinct eyes, or I. There's the I up here, the I that ones you think you are, and then you have the real I down in your heart, or a little below your heart. And if you can get into the I, the heart I, we can call it sometimes the soul. That doesn't have any of that psychological schmuck, just yuck. So why don't you try getting? You can do it by I am loving awareness down to the heart, focused on the heart. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. Yeah, that will help.
This question is from Pat. I say my mantra Ram whenever I realize I'm not doing it. I say it until I forget to say it. Sometimes I do it out loud, as it is easier not to forget then. Otherwise, I do it in the silence of my heart. It is always there for me. My question is, does it matter if I say it out loud or not? Or if it is better to do it silently? Or does it not matter which way I do it?
I think it doesn't matter. Just keep saying it. It's wonderful. And say it out loud and in your heart. And either way it'll work. Just repeating the names of God. Repeating the names of God will keep you oriented towards the place that is between form and formless. Yeah.
This one is from MT. To what extent, if any, does karma play in the physical circumstances of dropping one's body? Specifically in the case of Thomas Merton.
Thomas Merton, as you all know, was killed by an electric fan, and he was in a bath, and it was there is your karma will determine when you will die. Your karma will also determine how you die. How you die. Yeah. It wouldn't. His karma was that he would die at that point. Doesn't. His karma didn't specify the bathtub. I think that was just a natural event that he got into. Yeah. Yeah.
This question is from Jimmy. What is your opinion of mystical or esoteric Christianity as a path for Westerners?
I think it's a good path. It's a good path. Some of the Western mystic, some of the Western guys have it right down beautifully about final spiritual life, and I think they are super. They're wonderful. The wonderful ones, Western spiritual life. Yeah, that's really good. Good path to get.
Okay. if you have questions, please send them in. Here's another question from Mike. Did Maharaji have a physical guru?
Did he have?
And also, I would like to know what lineage we are. Thank you.
As far as I know, Maharaji didn't have a guru, although there is a woman that ran an ashram, and he was at it for a short time. That and she might have been his guru. He just had very tough yoga, and from a childhood, his yearning for spiritual life. He was born with it. Probably he had the guru in the last life. So I don't think we have a lineage. The lineage stops with Maharaji. I say, it goes from Maharaji to the One. That's the greatest lineage I have. Boy, it's wonderful.
This question's from Nagi. In Jnana Yoga, when you say, I am not my arms, etc., wouldn't it be better to say, I am more than my arms, etc.? I feel at some level that this is denoting attachment, i.e., I am not only my arms, but more. What do you think?
Well, they're a problem with neti, or not that, not that, not that. Probably one can go through that method to non-dualism, or formlessness. And therefore it's better to do not. Otherwise you're getting caught in a different method, which is that. And yeah.
Now this question's from Alice. Ramdas, do you believe in telepathy, i.e. sharing thoughts with others without using words?
I don't believe in telepathy. I think it just is. It's it's on one plane of, there's a lot of, I'm sorry, I can't think of the word. And in fact, you can use your thoughts, your projected thoughts, to affect the minds of other people or nature, as we see from the saints from India. They just would think something and it would manifest out there. Of course, it takes a pretty strong mind. A pretty directive one. Yeah.
Okay, this next question is from Roger. My question is about death. As much as I've read that death is safe, and I've heard I'm not the body, that I've heard I am loving awareness, and that I've prayed or felt grace, that I have read the near-death experiences, death is on my thoughts daily, sometimes all the time. It's scary. Do I cease to exist? Is it like going to sleep forever? I've heard that awareness is aware during waking and dreaming, deep sleep, but my awareness is not present in deep sleep.
I think the scary part is in your mind, and you will probably die, and so will I, so will the rest of us. When you die, you will become very aware, and you will not have the physical body and personality. You will and the worry of it now is really just it's ego, because you see, the ego is part of the incarnation, and the incarnation goes, the ego goes. It's not the soul. The soul is from incarnation to incarnation to incarnation, and the soul is has attitudes towards death of, well, I've done it numbers of times and I don't, it's just another mind moment. It's just another moment. It's just another time when you shift chapters. So all I can suggest to you, that if you go down into your Atman, to the soul, and you get comfortable there. I know you said you've done the